the wedding photography business tools that no one talks about. We all know Squarespaces and the NordVPNs of the world. We've seen their logo in front of thousands of videos, and I'm not here to talk to you about those in this video. I'm also not going to mention any CRMs or even AI image editing software. Everything I'm going to go over in this video also has a free version, or at least a free trial. So don't buy something just because I say it and it's in this video. Try it out, make sure it works for you before committing the dollars and also the time learning a new system into it. First, one that I use every day, WhatsApp desktop. You probably already know WhatsApp on your phone. You probably already have it. Maybe you use it every day, maybe you don't, but there is a desktop version. And if you're not using it and you're using WhatsApp, you're wasting a lot of time responding on your phone. Whether you are responding to clients or you're talking with second photographers or other people you collaborate with, being at a keyboard just makes everything a lot faster. And maybe more importantly, you're not picking up your phone and getting lost in it and finding yourself accidentally doom scrolling for no reason 25 minutes later. If you're on an iPhone, the same idea applies to iMessage on your Mac. You just keep the conversations on your computer while you're working and keep your phone face down. Small thing, but a real difference. Number two, it's called Imagen, and the system will do a few things that are genuinely helpful for us as wedding photographers. Imagen is available as both a Lightroom Classic plugin and a standalone photo manager. Today we're going to be focusing on the Lightroom plugin. I'll show you some prompt searches, but Imagen has a lot of other powerful search tools depending on your workflow, like these right here. Imagen will also help you make image selections, and it will automatically keyword images that you can search from, so you don't have to manually enter any keywords to use the natural language search. And here's the summary of the problem we all have. You come home from a wedding with 3,000 or 5,000 or maybe even 10,000 images. I don't know who would do something like that. Before you edit, you have to make your selects and you cull. Culling is honestly one of the worst parts of this job. It is repetitive, it's slow, it's not fun or creative work. Imagen uses locally based AI tech to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. The AI-assisted photo selection in Imagen will do things like check for face sharpness, as well as intelligently group by scenes, people, and content. Basically, it analyzes your images and helps you pull out the best ones way faster than going from image to image to image yourself. And it will save you a lot of time on final deliverables, whether you're creating an album, a social media post, a gallery, or you're looking for suggestions for prints. Then there is an incredibly powerful automated search tool as well. If you have a large catalog after years and years of shooting weddings, like I know a lot of us do, you could search for it visually, looking for a specific venue, specific lighting situation, a certain kind of moment, and that's a lot of work. Using Imagen, you can just type in natural language what you want to find, and it will just find it for you. It's really helpful when you're putting together a blog post or a gallery for a new inquiry and you want to pull together work from 3 years ago at a winter wedding, and now it's no problem. For me, outside of weddings, I am also working on a pretty extensive local photography project as well, and Imagen makes it really easy to pull images from this gallery based on keywords. It can work with videos as well, and everything I've shown you here works within Lightroom. That said, if you would prefer a standalone version, that exists as well. And something that I know is really important and also workflow-wise a lot better is that Imagen is offline. Your images stay on your machine. There is no cloud upload required. Whether you don't want to upload for privacy or just for the workflow, you don't have to do it with Imagen. It's also a one-time buy. So it's not a subscription. You pay one time and you own it. I feel like being able to own any software in the imaging space is becoming more and more rare. You can try it free for 14 days. The link is down below. It's worth testing on your next wedding and seeing how much it helps you improve your culling and your search time. I'll put a link down below, and you can use the promo code Taylor15 for 15% off. Next, we have Claude. I've talked about AI writing tools in the past, and I know a lot of you have already tried them. The output when you're trying to type natural language from some just feels a little robotic, and clients can very easily tell when something is just a lazy AI generated response. And I feel like I ended up rewriting a lot of my responses that chat gave me. And even though I was giving it a good prompt, and we had a very long history together of good prompts, and it had context, but it just wasn't doing as well as Claude. Claude is way different for me. The text it produces actually sounds natural, like a person wrote it. And for weddings, where a lot of the job, especially in the early stages, is communicating with couples, inquiry responses, follow-up emails, about page copy, and other marketing materials, it is really important. A couple of ways that I use this in real life. First, a Gmail integration. You can connect Claude directly to Gmail So you're drafting responses right there in your inbox without jumping between tabs. The other cool thing with Claude is that you can actually set up a voice and a knowledge base inside Claude for your specific business. Or if you have multiple businesses, you can reference that specific wedding photography business. So instead of getting those generic robotic responses, it knows your packages, your tone, how you communicate with clients, the venues you shoot at, and you're basically training it to sound like you and not just a generic photographer using the same tool. What you do sacrifice going Claude over chat, at least right now, is chat will generate images and video. Claude will still do text and graphics, but what I gain from Claude is an overall better system that is just more useful for what I do in wedding photography. Now, for the graphics and the design that I mentioned with Claude, it does a pretty good job, but it gets even better when you connect it to the next system, Canva. I'm sure you've heard a lot of Canva. They might actually they're not quite on a Squarespace sponsor level yet, but I think a lot of photographers are either not using it or not using it properly. For myself, I grew up using Photoshop. I've been using Photoshop, I think, since I was 11 or 12 years old. So I always defaulted any graphic-based thing would be Photoshop. So I would build my package templates there. Canva is better. For pricing guides, client welcome packs, social content, it's all pre-built and you can customize it. Canva also allows you to control your branding in a way that Claude and Chat just don't. If you have a specific look and feel that you built for your brand over the years, Canva's brand guide basically just lets you lock that in for your fonts, your colors, your logo. Everything you design stays on brand without you having to think about it a whole lot. And that's great, but then you can also superpower it. If you have that brand kit set up in Canva, you can connect it to Claude. And now when you're generating copy or ideas through Claude, it is going to be working within your visual rules. And those two tools working together are really, really valuable. Next, if you're into the hybrid photo video wedding space, their wedding brand is called Bride and Groom. You can edit your wedding videos there or your commercial or corporate or YouTube videos over here on Mooncut. And you're watching the first project that we've worked together on. If you are in the wedding photo video hybrid space, like I know a lot of you are, their wedding brand is called Bride and Groom. You can edit wedding videos there. If you are looking for commercial, corporate, YouTube videos, Mooncut is the place to go. The onboarding is pretty cool because they will give you 3 different styles of edits for the first video, and then you just pick the one you like the best. So check them out. I'll put links to everything I'm going to talk about down below. Next, let's get a lot more boring, but necessary. Wellybox. So this is one I found by accident, and it's become one of the tools that I use every single day. Wellybox pulls digital receipts automatically from your email. And that wasn't even the part that I was interested in originally. What got me was that you could just take photos of your receipts and send them to them on WhatsApp, and they'll be added to your accounting. There's no app to open, no camera to boot up. I tried using QuickBooks for receipt capture before, but it required me to open and boot the entire app just to load the camera. And it was really slow, too many steps. With Wellybox, I'm just texting a photo and moving on. It also lets you set rules so you're not getting spammed with personal receipts or something that you're constantly buying that's not related to your business. You can filter that stuff out pretty quickly. Honestly, it is a little expensive for what it is right now, but I would say that it saves me hours of my time over the year. And it also, I think pretty much every software, it ties into your bookkeeping software, which we're gonna talk about more in a minute. Next, Loom. I talked about Loom a while back, and I know a few people still use this strategy, including the certified 10,000 photo wedding photographer. He doesn't deliver that many. He just shoots a lot. It's fine. You can watch a full video with him if you want. This style of video response has been great for him, and I know it is for sure contributing heavily to his high booking numbers. So here's the idea. You get a new inquiry, and it looks reasonably qualified. Instead of sending a standard email response through Claude, you record a short Loom video. You say, "Hi, I'm Taylor," and you put a face to your name, especially if you don't have a promo video on your website, and you guide them through a gallery that's relevant. Maybe you shot their venue, maybe you shot the same time of year in a similar setting, or you can just talk to them like a normal human. And I know talking to a camera feels uncomfortable, especially if you're introverted. I am very introverted. But the thing is that every photographer they've inquired with is probably pretty good at photography. I feel like all of our images are pretty great now. What we're actually competing now at this time is trust. The photographer the couple trusts the most is going to get that booking, and it's not necessarily going to be the best technical photographer. So even if you are 50% comfortable in front of the camera, try this on your next 10 inquiries and see what happens to your conversion rates. Next, Calendly. Probably heard of this one. Simple. Put a Calendly link. It's hard to say, isn't it? Put a Calendly link on your email response. So rather than couples going back and forth asking you, can you do Tuesday? Can you do Tuesday at 6? Back and forth, and it just removes that entirely. They click over and they book a time slot that you've already said you're available for. It's very fast and easy. And I feel like it also removes friction and makes you easier to book, which I think reflects positively upon them eventually booking you. Next, QuickBooks. For taxes and accounting, I use QuickBooks. I know there are other options in the space, and I just like to talk about what I know on the channel here. For a solo business owner who is also incorporated, it just does everything that I need. The pricing is decent enough and it's not exciting, but it works and it connects to everything. And it allows me to work with an external accountant, which is what I'm going to talk about next. Outsourcing your accounting. This one's going to be different depending on where you're at in your business. For me, as an incorporated business, doing my own year-end taxes is both above my skill level and also way above the available time that I have. Having someone that actually knows what they're doing handle it, it just means it gets done correctly the first time, and maybe more importantly, it actually gets done. Having someone holding you accountable to that stuff is actually more important than you think. If your business is busier, it might make sense to bring in a bookkeeper for your month to month, but my suggestion is find a tax accountant first and then ask them who they would recommend for bookkeeping. The ideal setup would be that your accountant and your bookkeeper, they talk to each other and they can leave you out of it most of the time. There's always going to be a few questions, but if they can handle everything between themselves, that's better for me. So yes, it will cost you money, but it also allows you to spend more time in your business actually generating revenue and working on marketing and delivering things to couples and making them happy and getting more referrals. Don't fall into the trap of doing your own accounting forever just because that's how you started your business and it's how you did the first couple of years. So these are all the tools that I'm running right now that I haven't really talked about ever on the channel. I'm curious if there's anything that you're using on a daily or a weekly basis that you think might be something that should be on this list. Feel free to put it in the comments below. I would love to check it out. And if you haven't tried Expire yet, the link down below is to a free 14-day trial. Test it out on your next wedding and see what it does to your culling and your full wedding catalog search. I think you're going to be very surprised. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.